The rest of the world is currently in shock and a little bit of horror over the anti-medical advice that came out of Donald Trump and, of course, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Medicare and Medicaid Services Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz this week. As we all know, of course, they did their grand press conference on Monday where Donald Trump told people, do not take Tylenol. And then, of course, he warned about the dangers of vaccines. He made a lot of medically inaccurate statements, including about hepatitis B. None of the things that were said on Monday were based in any real science. It's not even pseudoscience at this point. It is full-blown science fiction that they fed us on Monday. And, of course, we had medical agencies, doctors, scientists in the United States immediately say, hey, these people are wrong. Trump's own FDA came out and said, hey, these morons are wrong. And the rest of the world also did the same thing. Britain, the European Union, Australia, all over the globe, health leaders and government leaders had to come out and tell their populations, for the love of God, don't listen to the science fiction coming out of those dimwits in the United States. Here is what the World Health Organization had to say. We know that vaccines do not cause autism. Vaccines, as I've said, save countless lives. So this is something that science has proven, and these things should not be really questioned. Wes Streeting, the UK Health Secretary, said that I trust doctors over President Trump, frankly, on this. I've just got to be really clear about this. There is no evidence to link the use of paracetamol, which is what they call acetaminophen, by pregnant women to autism in their children. None. So I would just say to people watching, don't pay any attention whatsoever to what Donald Trump says about medicine. The UK's healthcare regulator released a statement within hours of Trump's announcement disputing the link between acetaminophen use during pregnancy with autism, and the agency's chief safety officer warned that untreated pain and fever can pose risks to the unborn baby, even though Donald Trump told them to just tough it out, ladies. Tough it out, says the man who couldn't go fight in Vietnam because his feet hurt. But a pregnant woman, an experience that Donald Trump can't even begin to empathize with, you got to tough it out. Now, I can't tough it out because of my feet. You know, I can't go and do what the rest of the country is doing because my feet hurt. But ladies, you tough it out. It's just a baby. You're going to squeeze a watermelon through the size of something that's an orange, or through something the size of an orange. But yeah, tough it out, says the guy wearing makeup on his hands because his hands got bruised because he's shaking too many hands. Oh, my little hand hurts because the people shook it. Bitch. I'm sorry. He's a whiny little bitch, and we need to keep saying that, and I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to try to work it into at least one segment a day, folks. That's not all. The European Medicines Agency also stood by its advice, saying its guidelines were based on a rigorous assessment of the available scientific data, and we have found no evidence that taking acetaminophen during pregnancy causes autism in children. Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration confirmed that acetaminophen was safe for use in pregnancy and rejected any link to neurodevelopmental conditions. In other words, the rest of the world is laughing at us, sure. But I think at this point, they're also afraid for us and afraid for what we're spreading around the world. And I mean that quite literally if we're not getting vaccinated. They're worried about what we're going to spread around the world. It's not going to be long. I promise you, mark my words right here. It's not going to be long before other countries around the globe are going to start telling U.S. citizens, you're no longer allowed to come to our country. You spread disease. You bring pestilence with you. You can't come here. And I'm talking about developed nations. Do not be surprised when they start putting vaccine requirements on anybody coming into the country. You're going to have to carry that along with your passport. Which, honestly, not a bad idea. I think they should do that. So, there you go. Rest of the world, you know how crazy we are now. I apologize on behalf of all of America for us, but you can actually put an end to it But I mean, let's be honest, I don't think a ton of the anti-vaxxers out there are over there globe-trotting going to other countries, but go ahead and make a stand. Stand up against the anti-scientific views of this administration by putting these new regulations in place and saying that unvaccinated Americans are not welcome in your country. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is flooded with spam, this is how they do it. Companies called data brokers sell your data to anyone willing to pay for it. They do it without your consent, and they make billions selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And while they're legally required to remove your info if you ask, they make the process confusing and hard on purpose. That's why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family and friends. They take care of the hard part by automatically removing your info from these sites and keeping it off. Aura is all-in-one digital security. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking the front door and leaving the back door open. You get alerts if your personal info is found on the dark web. They provide real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking. They have 24/7 monitoring to help keep your identity secure. They provide a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and so much more. And they have US-based support available around the clock if anything goes wrong. If anything does end up happening, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft insurance protection. And they have US fraud experts ready to help you 24/7. It's one app that provides every layer of protection. I don't want to leave myself vulnerable online, and you shouldn't either, and that's why I personally use Aura. Your personal data is collected by almost every single website you go to. Every shopping site you enter your information, it becomes the property of that company that then hands it to the brokers that then hand it to anyone. So protect yourself with Aura. Try it for yourself. You can go to aura.com/Farron to try 14 days for free. That's enough time for Aura to start scrubbing your personal info off these data broker sites without you lifting a finger.